Thank you for joining us, and I'm Dr. John Warlow, the founder of the Christian Wholeness Framework, and this is for beginning counsellors. And with me I have Ronald, who's a beginning counsellor. He's a trainee in a Master's in Counselling from Asia and has had some early experience in the Christian Wholeness Framework. Ronald, welcome.
Hi, welcome. Thanks.
Hi. Ronald, you've had some early experience with the Christian Wholeness Framework. Can you tell us a little bit about how that happened, just briefly, and then what you might have found helpful from the Christian Wholeness Framework?
Yeah, sure, no problem. I would say I've been getting in touch with this framework for quite some time, and I find that really helpful in terms of being a beginning counselor. Yeah. Because I think for the shapes and the steps that is the main focus in this framework, I think it helps me to be more confident as practicing counseling with a client. And I think for the circle, I would say that is definitely the one that I love the most.
Yeah, because it's the main one really that we use. Yeah.
I think it is really helpful for me as a beginning counselor because for most of the time, before I get in touch with this framework, I usually got stuck or find it a bit confusing with those overwhelming stories from the client, and that's really a lot for me. But I think with the use of the circle, it helps me to locate different story from the client into that circle, so that I can know what else I have to ask from the client in order to get a more holistic view of the client.
Yeah. So the steps give you that confidence, and maybe we can come back to those later, but the circles help you to locate where the story of the client is so that you can also see maybe a little bit like a jigsaw puzzle, which pieces might be missing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would say exactly this metaphor is exactly what I was trying to explain.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think besides the circle, I think also the pyramid would be really is also really helpful for me, because locating the client in the center of that pyramid.
Yeah.
By knowing the concept of this pyramid, we can explore the supportive network around the client, so that we can have a more comprehensive view of the social network around the client. Yeah. So when we are planning for interventions or just to understand the client better from their upbringing experience, I think this pyramid is really helpful in terms of these things.
Yeah. So the pyramid really provides that support around the base and of the social support, or the four corners of the pyramid. Yeah. God being there at the top. Yeah. And so that's another thing which you found helpful, Ronald.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. What about any of the other shapes? Did you?
I think the other shape is more about me as a Christian.
Yeah.
Which it helps me in terms of being a Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
We might even talk about that now, because I think that's good, because one of the big things we talk about is transformation of the counsellor.
Yep.
So it does fit in here, and in terms of the transformation of the counsellor, and also transforming their attitude, skills, and knowledge. So let's go on to those shapes for yourself, Ronald.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think the main reason why I'm really interested in this framework before I get in touch of that is because I really want to integrate my existing knowledge with the biblical or Christian value. So I think with the use of this CWF, it really helped me for the integration of the two. I think especially trialogue.
The trialogue,
Yeah, the trialogue. Because I think in normal settings, we usually is only having one-to-one counseling session and just you, John, and me, Ronald here. But I think as a Christian, I think it is really helpful for the client and also for the counselor ourselves to experience the presence of God between the two of us.
And that's a very powerful concept, isn't it? The concept of the trialogue, and we're during as we go unpack the website, you'll be able to see more about that. And so, and apart from that, what else have you found for yourself?
Sure. Apart from that, I think for the square, I think it's really helpful not only when I'm doing counseling. I think it's really helpful for me as well, is that I can see my positive and negative. And also where
you're going well or when you're not going so well.
Exactly. And also whether this action or this behavior or this thought is self-centered or God-centered. So I think this whole framework is really fascinating.
It's very simple in a way, but does really help us to locate where we're at in those two dimensions. That's great. And either for yourself personally or as a counsellor, anything else about the shapes or the steps which you'd like to add finally, Ronald?
Sure. I think that's pretty much about the shapes. But I think in terms of the steps, I find it really helpful for raising my awareness of what I am doing. Because I think I was already doing those steps, like building report. These are some academic knowledge that we learn from uni or anything else. But I think with knowing the steps, it raised my awareness as what I am doing, and by knowing that we're connecting with the client throughout the whole process of counseling, and we're understanding them, we keep evaluating after we give response, and or we even engage help if it is needed. So.
You're exactly right. It does articulate what we're already doing, and it comes from the approaches in counselling and medicine and stuff like that. The having the alliance, the rapport, as you said, then understanding what's happening, then trying to help the person based on the connection and the understanding on an ongoing way. And then maybe referring on elsewhere if they need that. And so the importance for you of articulation then, Ronald, is that it makes it clearer.
It makes it clear, so much clearer than before.
But just by having those cure steps. And also I think what I found very helpful is it's something then which I can easily pass on to others. People remember the cure, even in countries where they don't speak English. They say C-U-R-E.
That's right.
Well, thanks very much for joining us, and be really interested to hear how your journey does go in your counselling as you move from a beginning counsellor to a counsellor, and move on to becoming more advanced in those sort of things, and to be interesting to see how you use the framework. So thanks for joining us, Ronald.
No worries.
Thanks.